You to our Women's Leadership Call webcast for 2016. Joan is on and Holly will be jumping on shortly. I wanted just to start today, people are still jumping on, so we're going to keep it simple in the beginning. I wanted to start today by really just sharing back to basics, the why of why we do anything. And for me, I had a business when I started in this network marketing 7 years ago. I had a business that I loved, that was something that I had wanted for a long time. My son had just started going to school at the time, and so I was able to stay home with my son. I was a realtor before that in Manhattan. I did commercial real estate in downtown Manhattan. And so there were a lot of different things going on, but I was at peace because I knew my son was going to school and I was able to be a stay-at-home mom with him during that time, but I always wanted to have a high-end boutique, and that's what I made. And we were flipping houses at the time, and then the market crashed. So this social retail, network marketing, whatever you want to call it, it came at a great time for me because I was looking for something different, and it wasn't only because of money. Joan and I talk about this a lot. The thing that I was looking for was I was looking to get my husband to be able to be a part of the everyday things that were going on in our home that he was not able to do anymore, for the simple fact that his job had changed. For many years, he had been at a company for, I think, 16 years at that time, and they gave him a shift that was from 3:30 in the afternoon till 1 o'clock in the morning. He wouldn't get home. He ended at 12:30, but then he would drive home. So that left me picking my son up from school alone, having dinner alone, putting my son to bed alone, and I was a single mom. And I did not like that because I was a married single mom, and I thought, there's got to be a better way, and I was really unhappy. I was unhappy with what I felt were the choices that we made. And I listened to an audio, a recording of that kid that Mike loves. I forget his name. And he was talking about how we're all living in our future right now. And that is crazy if you think about it. Everything that we've done in the past, that we invested in, that we took time to make a decision about, whether it's our health, our finances, our business, our marriages, exercising or not, we're in the result of those past decisions. And if we want to have a different result for the future, that we have to actually make different choices today for our future. But right now we're living in the future from before, and we're also living in the present. So back to my story, I was very unhappy, and an old friend of mine came into my life, into my experience, and brought this idea of, having another stream of income that I thought, well, if we were making this amount of money, Anthony was making a lot of money at his job, I thought, maybe that would give him the energy to walk away from this company, or maybe I could get my family back, or I didn't know, my hands were tied. And so, every no that I got didn't deter me, because I wanted my family to look a certain way and to be a certain way, not for the outside world, but really for myself. I was unhappy and I was in a bad place, and people didn't know that by looking at me. I was living in the house I wanted. I was running my own business. I drive nice cars, all of these things that people didn't understand. And that's why you never prejudge people. You pre-qualify, but you don't prejudge them, because you don't know how many people are your friends that are in foreclosure. You don't know how many people you think are out eating at restaurants and it's their last $20. You don't know what's going on in people's lives, and people are looking for a better way, and we have it. And I want you really today, my part of this is really to give you empowering thoughts. Many of you have been in this industry or in this social retail, even if it's just Modere your first time. You've been in this space where you're trying to think outside the box, but really we got to go back to basics. You start with your warm market. Who of your friends and family need these products in their life? You do not have to try and sell, do a sales pitch to them about a business. Just simply, this is what I need. I'm looking for some people to try out the products that I'm promoting. And, Joan used something last month that I thought was really smart. She said, I need 4 customers or 3 customers, or we could say 6, whatever the number is we need. And I'm just want to ask you, would you try these products? They're priced, competitively, and they're going to be safer than what you're using today. And, she had people that responded and did it. And it was just that simple. And I just wanted to get to a place where this is going to flow very easily and going to be something that's second nature to us. If you're talking to someone, oh, do you brush your teeth? Yeah, well, now you can use this toothpaste. It's much cleaner for you. But, going back to my story, when I was able, and this is a lot of different things came into play, but 5 years ago, I was doing very well. I was making in my last business, a good amount of money. And, I had the passion. I was going to different people's houses and talking to them with passion because I was so excited about this better way that I found. And I was just talking to Holly this morning about how, we get discouraged because we're like, oh, well, we already talked to that person and they're not interested or this. And we let things discourage us and deter us. And you know what? Excuses are really just dream killers. And we don't have to find an excuse. We can find a better way. And the better way is however it's going to work for you. Doing socials for me is super fun. I love doing socials with Michelle Steiner. We get together. We've had 100% enrollment rate on every one of our socials. Can they happen every week? Maybe. Maybe it's going to be monthly for you. Whatever your commitment is going to be, let it be that. But in your everyday life, go talk to people. Be engaging with them. Have passion when you talk. These are things that draw people to you. These are things that make people say, hey, they've got something and I want that. So 5 years ago, I told my husband, I'm really tired. I can't do this anymore. And you're going to have to change your job. If not, I don't know if I want to continue doing this. And that was a big deal for him to hear that from me because I don't take it that lightly. And I've been with my husband 18 years, and he knew that I was at the end of my rope. And, the amount of money was one thing, but the people that we became by reading, listening, and participating in a group of like-minded people who were really growing and stretching was what it took for him to say, I'm going to make the call. I'm going to tell them I can't do this anymore. And I was surprisingly pregnant after 9.5 years of trying. And the day that my daughter was born, on April 15th, the next day he made the phone call. Because I told him, I didn't forget, even though I had just given birth. I said, I told you when Maddie was born, this is where I was at. And he made the phone call, and they changed his job. And for 5 years, he's been able to have his regular schedule, back. He's, just been super excited. But it was the people that we became. It wasn't just the money. It was the people that we became during this process. The process is hard. It stretches you. You lose friends. You gain new friends. But, we became people that weren't going to let the no's of this world really shut us out and take our dreams away from us. So my encouragement to you women is keep doing what you need to do to fill yourself up. But apart from that, go back to basics. Get your excitement back. Realize that this is a better way. Realize that when you talk to people, you've got to be excited. Nobody wants to join you if you're Debbie Downer. I love talking to Joan and Holly and Saeed and Mike and all of the people that I talk to all the time because they're like-minded. I don't talk to them and like, oh, my gosh, I don't even know why I spend time talking to Joan. Those are not the feelings that I get with the people that I'm surrounding myself with because I'm being super, super careful about who I give my energy to because I am laser focused right now and I want to be free. And I want to encourage you women. We're going to be doing a women's seminar coming up soon, and we're excited about that. We're trying to make it something really exciting and fun where we can all get together and share a weekend together. And I want to encourage you women to do the work on yourself, and go back to who you were in the beginning of whatever business you joined. Your first company, go back to that person where you were writing lists. Every week you should be writing another name on your list. Every week you should be picking up the phone and making contact with people and then sitting down with them. I mean, these are the steps. It's not magic. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. It's a proven system, okay? And the other thing is get connected. Get connected on Facebook. Get connected wherever you need to. And be smart about the time you're spending on Facebook. It doesn't have to be scrolling through everybody's pages. You can be smart and strategic about what you're doing. And lastly, I want to share a book that I've been reading, Girl Code, that I've really loved. It's just, it's not like a deep book. I love the concept. The concept is really women empowering one another to find their passion and live it out and clap for someone else. And don't say, oh, Joan is doing so well. She's a multi-million-dollar earner. I'm going to copy her. No, I can't copy Joan because Joan is the special sauce. People want to, Mike has this magnetic personality. Mike's got the it factor. There's people that say the same thing, but when people hear it from Mike, they love it. They're drawn to him. That's the special sauce. You are the special thing in your business, and you have to really infuse yourself into your business and make this a year to remember. We're in January, guys. Half of the month is already gone. Let's rock this business, and let's get excited with one another. Okay? I'm going to throw it over to you, Joan.
Okay. Thank you so much. Wow, I was taking notes as you were talking, and I really, first of all, welcome everybody. My name is Joan Hochster. For those of you who don't know me, I'm so super excited. We opened this call today to not just people in our business. I mean, Alexandra gave some pointers for our business. Those pointers could really apply to any business out there. And we want to keep this more generic because of what Alexandra said. I mean, look at me. I'm a mess. I've got eye infection. But this was so important to me that I didn't back out just because I'm not feeling 100% today. And Holly's on with us. I know she doesn't have her camera working, but she's listening and she'll jump in at some point too. But really for me, what I've discovered, so the end of December through now, I took that time over the holidays where it's slow time, everybody's full of excuses. I took that time and I really, really did a lot of self-development. I am a self-development junkie. I think the thing I love about the direct selling or affiliate marketing or whatever the industry is that you want to call it, whatever it means to you, the thing I love the most about it is that it really is a business of self-development that has a compensation plan attached to it. And I am always looking for ways to make myself a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more ahead of the game, a little bit more articulate with the way I say things, a little bit more focused with what I want to do. I'm constantly looking and doing and reading and researching and talking to people and reaching out and following what the successful people do. And I spent a solid 2.5 weeks on that. And I got crystal clear with my goals. I want to talk about goals right now because if you are going through life haphazardly, then haphazard results are what you're going to get. So if you haven't already paid attention to all of my messages and all of my emails that I've sent out, I'm going to suggest to you right now when we're done with this call that you run to the store and buy yourself some blue index cards and a blue pen, get a piece of paper and just sit and write down what your dreams are. What do you want? What do you not want personally? What do you want stuff-wise? And what do you want financially? And just sit and start writing and writing until you can't write anymore, okay? Then once you have a full list of whatever it is that fills you up, I want you to put a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7, a 10, or a 20 next to that. And that's the amount of time in which you're going to give yourself to accomplish that goal, because we need some short-term goals. We need some longer, midterm goals. And then we need some that are a stretch, that are 20 years out. Okay. And then once you define the time frame for those goals, for your 1-year goals, I want you to pick your top 3 or 4 in each of the categories, and I want you to write them on a blue index card. And I'm not asking you to do something that I haven't already done, because I want to show you that I have mine. Oh, they're out in my living room where I do my meditations in the morning. But I did this. So I want you to write down the top 3 in each one of the categories: your personal goals, your stuff goals, and your financial goals, the top 3 that you're committing to this year. Once you write that goal down, on the back, I want you to write a paragraph about it, starting with, I'm so happy and excited that speaking about it as if it's already happened to you, because it's so important that we really connect with the fact that this is what is going to be. Okay, once you've done that, then I want you to commit to yourself that you're going to sit every day in quiet space. And as a team, for those of you who are not on our team, we came up with the 10 daily disciplines And I posted this on our Facebook page. If you're not part of our team, whoever invited you here can share it with you, because this applies to life. It's not just about our business. And in the 10 daily disciplines, we talk about giving thanks. We talk about positive affirmation, listening to motivational, inspirational teachings, make an executed to-do list, and review your goals and dreams. So in the morning, when I go through giving thanks and positive affirmations, I actually sit and I review my goals. And after I review my goals, I make my to-do list for the day. You guys, it is about having that real burning desire. And I love what Alexandra said. It absolutely cannot just be about money. I wish you could see what was in front of me right now, because part of in the 2-week period that I was getting crystal clear on what my life in 2016 and beyond was going to look like, my family and I created a vision board together. And it's right here. If you can imagine, it's right here. And right in the center of that vision board is a picture of my husband, Scott, who this April will be celebrating our 29th wedding anniversary, my almost 22-year-old son, Joshua, and my 16-and-a-half-year-old daughter. And you know what? We're lucky in the sense that we're entrepreneurs. So my husband and I own a business, and during the years that my children were growing up, I was able to really, really be a significant factor in their life every single day. I was on their field trips. I was the room mom. I was the PTA president. So boy, do I feel so blessed and grateful that I had that opportunity. But being entrepreneurs, along with that comes a lot of struggle. And so my husband and I own a security company. It's a super, super labor intensive job. We're both 50. He's getting ready to turn 51 soon. And I don't want him having to work so hard. So my why is crystal clear. It's about my family. It's about time freedom. It's about financial freedom. It's about a better lifestyle. It's about my husband getting off of the ladder and out of addicts and spending quality time building memories with my children, and then my grandchildren when we have them. So that is in my face every day. So when I get discouraged when somebody says no to me, when I get discouraged about the people who said yes to my business and then walk away without even giving it a real ditch effort, I look at that and it allows me to not give up. It allows me to course correct. I have so many notes. I swear I could be on this call with you guys for an hour and a half and really continue to pour into you and fill up, because I'm so excited and passionate about what we've got our hands on here, and empowering young girls and empowering women. And really for me, I think the most important thing for me is I'm observing people who come in, they say yes to this business, to another business. They spend a couple $100, $300, $400. They say yes, they get discouraged, and they give up before they even get started. So for me, for Alexandra, for Holly, for Sai, for so many of you on this call that we've connected with, we've decided that our company that I'm a brand ambassador for, that's just my vehicle. What I'm super passionate about is empowering young girls and women to create the life of their dreams, to not give up on their dreams because of their limiting beliefs and their story and the stuff that's happened to them over and over and over and over again, because that's what happens. I'm reading an amazing book. I'm actually listening to an amazing book. So I want to take a step back and tell you, if you're just getting started in this business, or you're started and you're stuck, I am going to suggest to everybody that you listen to the book by T. Harv Eker called The Millionaire Mindset. Because really and truly, that is going to be the starting point for you having a successful run at whatever you're doing. In this audiobook, they talk about how many people win the lottery, and in a matter of a couple of years, they've lost it all. They're back to where they're comfortable. They're back to their money comfort zone. And so much of this has to do with the stories that were ingrained into us as we were growing up. And I'm going to tell you, both my husband and I, pouring it out, with honesty, we both grew up in lack and limitation mindset families. And so I'm telling you, my commitment now is to change this not only for my life, but to help other women to get this. So this book really, really helps with that, because they talk about the fact that, okay, the lottery winners that go back to where their comfort zone is. And then they talked about Donald Trump. Whether you like the guy or not, I don't even care. We're not going to have that conversation. He has a billionaire mindset. He was a billionaire. He lost it all. He was billions in debt, and then he earned it all back again. So he has a mindset that's not going to allow him to not succeed. That's the difference between, having the right mindset and not having the right mindset. So the foundation of whatever it is you want to achieve, I'm going to tell you, if you plug into that audiobook, go on a walk every morning, listen over and over and over again. It talks about affirmations. Like we talked about positive affirmations as one of our 10 daily disciplines. And on the sheet that I created, at the bottom of it, I wrote, when you recite your positive affirmation and your subconscious has you believing it's not possible, consider adding in front of the affirmation either I choose to believe or I'm in the process of, to trick those limiting beliefs into believing it's so. And so T. Harv Eker talks about not using positive affirmation, but declarations. And that's kind of what I have done by adding those two lines, either I am in the process of, or I choose to believe in front of an affirmation. It then makes it more of a declaration. So it really is about shifting your mindset. That's step one. And then, as Alexandra talked about, the difference between people who are having success and those who are not having success, because I don't talk about failure. I just talk about success or not success. So the difference between those two is really, like she said, it's about your confidence. It's about your posture. It's about your excitement and your belief, not only in the company that you're representing, but in yourself. And you got to really get so super committed to working on you first. If you're not in the right place, then people aren't going to buy in or believe whatever you're saying, and you're going to continue to end up in the same situation that you find yourself in over and over and over again. So the super neat thing is that we have a team of us who are all committed to the same thing, and we're all doing the same work. So I was talking to Kelly this morning, and she's like, I'm going to plug in and stay close to you guys until I feel it for myself, until those negative and limiting thoughts are not part of my mindset anymore. That's what you've got to do. Dalai Lama says that it's Western women who are going to change the world. And I firmly believe that we've got the possibility of that in our hands. And this industry allows that. It allows for ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And again, like I said to you before, for me, it's not about this company. I'm super excited about the company that we've chosen to participate in, that I'm a brand ambassador for. Why? Because they have the same commitment to making a difference in the world that I have. So you have to be part of a company that shares your values, that you're in alignment with. I also feel super strongly about educating people about switching from harmful to less harmful products. So, for me, this choice was simple, and I'm here and I'm committed. But if you're not part of this company and you're part of another company, those things are critical, because again, it's the Western women that are going to make the difference, that are going to make the changes in this world. And we've got to do that together. And we do that together by not being focused on our money and not being focused on whose product is better, but it's by coming together and empowering our daughters and younger girls, and empowering, women around the world, that they can accomplish whatever they set their mind to. I listened to a video yesterday that somebody on our team posted. I think the guy's a rapper, J. Cole. I'm sorry, I didn't know who he was, but what he was saying really, really resonated with me. He was talking about if you're focused on put the importance on the stuff, the money, you'll never have enough. Or on the cars, you're always going to want a better one. Or on a flat screen TV, you might have a 60-inch, but you don't have the HD. Or if you have the HD, you don't have the smart. You're always looking for more. Where you've got to put your focus is on the appreciation and the love. If we look to the stuff, we're never, ever going to be satisfied. And I am telling you that just resonated with me. And then he also talked about people's jobs. Look, many of us need to have a job to help us pay our bills right now. And we're doing another business so that we can build our dreams in our future. That's perfect. But in a job, if you're making 10 or 15 or $20 an hour, we cannot allow other people to dictate to us what an hour of our time is worth. So yes, continue on your job and do a great job so that you can keep the lights on and food on your table. But don't give up on working on your dreams, because if something isn't working, if you're not having the success that you want, then course correct. We can't fail unless we give up. Course correct. Lock arms with somebody. I'm going to turn it over to Holly in just a minute. What she's doing is she's got a group of women who are empowering each other. They're holding each other accountable. They're having calls. If your upline isn't doing it for you, if they came in and left you, connect with somebody else. There's always somebody in your team, in your organization, that's going to be willing to work with you, to hold you accountable, to, allow you to fulfill your dreams and not give up. Again, I want to just reiterate the book, T. Harv Eker, A Millionaire Mindset. I hope that each one of you takes me seriously when I say that I know I've talked to so many on our team, and I'm going to guess that the people that you connected with, that you invited, so many are in the same struggle. And it really all comes down to the lack and limitation and limiting belief story that we are living in, and we keep ending up in the same place. So now is the time. It's a new year. It's a new day. Take responsibility for setting your goals and dreams. Create a vision board with your family so it's locked and loaded with your why right in the middle. And then T. Harv Eker, A Millionaire Mindset, is going to be a great place to start so that you can declare what your future is going to look like, and together we can all make that a possibility. Holly, I hope that you're still here with us. I know that you said you didn't have a camera, but I love your wisdom and I love your heart and I love talking to you. So I can't wait to hear what you have to add.
Well, thank you so much, Joan. Your words of wisdom always rock my socks. Alexandra, the two of you. Honestly, I don't know what I would do half the time without you ladies in my life. Because you know what? As much as we dream, life is life, and we're just people, and stuff gets us down, and it's just the way it is. But that's okay. So thank you for all the wonderful things you said today, and for all the information. So I just want to touch really briefly for a couple of quick minutes about 2016 for me is going to be about going deeper. I'm sorry I don't have my camera. Okay, I'm having some internet issues today, so I'm sorry about that. So going deeper for me, and again, this is for me based on spirituality. So when I talk about things or when I share things based on my belief, it's never meant to push that on anyone. It's just, I really strongly believe in take what you want and leave the rest. So, fill in the slots where it's appropriate for you. But I believe 2016 will be a greater year for me if I'm spiritually healthier. What does that look like for you? So my question to you is, what does that look like to you? What is 2016 going to be greater for you if you are healthier? Where? Is it within your relationships? Is it spiritually? Is it with your finances? But ask those questions, and that's about pushing forward and really being accountable and looking in the mirror. And that for me is not fun to do. It's so much easier for me to point the finger at the next person. Oh, well, because you did this, because you did that. Well, you know what? That's not the truth, because, frankly, I was married once before. And I'm very close friends with my ex-husband, my former husband. And, he's apologized to me numerous times. And again, he had his part to play. But you know what? I've said to him many times that if the door wasn't open, he wouldn't have been able to walk in. So I brought my own stuff into the relationship. So what do I bring in to my life? What do I carry around with me? What baggage, what damage do I carry around that stops me from being and doing all I was created to do? So I ask those same questions to you ladies today, and to take, responsibility for that and see what can you do to go deeper. And if there's something that's holding you back, for me, a lot of my issues are time management. I've got ADD, and I've told myself this year that I'm not going to use my medication and my prescription medication. I'm going to wean off and use something more natural. But there's a transition for that. And so my self-talk would normally have been, I suck at this, I suck at that. But if I change that conversation to say, I could do better at this, I'm good enough as I am, love myself where I'm at, and appreciate where I'm at, what can I do better at? So that changes it right there. It changes the way I see myself and what I see in the mirror. Again, I have a strong spiritual belief, and we in church yesterday, we were talking about, my pastor was talking about two kinds of people: wow people and how people. And wow people are big dreamers, and how people are a little bit more pessimistic. They want to see the, the graphs and the proof and this, that, and the other thing. We need those kind of people. But what he was saying is that we really need the wow people, because without being able to dream, whether you have a spiritual belief or not, or relationship or not that way, how would stuff get done? He spoke about the first airplane. I guess the government back in the day, and you can Google this, please do so, they had spent several $1,000s with scientists trying to put a person in the air to create an airplane. And the folks that actually did it for $1,000. And the only reason they did it is because they just never, darn it, gave up. They never gave up, and they dreamed really, really big. The other thing I want to talk about is something that we spoke of yesterday in church as well, is, for me, I've never really been big on resolutions. It always seems like, anxiety and stress about it, what am I going to pick? And then it just always never seems to stick. And you hear it all the time. The gyms are packed, you can't get in, you can't get a locker. And then 2 weeks later, crickets. So Alexandra had posted this on our team page, about one word. And I love that. And it was funny to me that it came up yesterday again in this conversation. One word. So I love the power of one word to reflect on throughout the year, because for me, the resolutions are pointless because I never seem to stick to them. So one word, if I select one, gives me clarity, power, something to focus on, whether it's July, August, October. So the word that I chose is unfailing. So I'd love everyone to find a word for themselves that you can reflect on throughout the year to help get you back on focus when life just kicks you in the face. And there's a website that you can go to help you find your one word, and I will post it on the team page as well. But it is getOneWord.com/action-plan/. So again, if anybody wants that, feel free to reach out, but I'll post it in the team page. And again, if you have something like me, as I was saying, time management and things like that, and being distracted a lot, partner up. Joan touched on it too. Partner up with someone that doesn't have that problem. Partner up with someone that has what you don't have, and then give them what you do. If I have a big mouth and I have an ability to just, balls to the wall, just keep on talking, there's someone else that I found that's much better at being accountable as far as managing their time and, taking notes and things like that. So we're doing accountability calls and we're working together. So we're feeding one another with what we don't have as much of that we would like to have in our lives. I do want to just piggyback on what Joan was saying and Alexandra were talking about with these books, these audio books. I'm a paper book girl more than an audio book, just the way my life is. But I'm also reading, again, one of my things that I'd like to see myself doing better is being a night person. So I'm going to bed a little bit earlier and getting up earlier and using that time to do the things, my daily dozen and things that I need to do for my 90-day run. So I really encourage you to make sure you print that out. And it doesn't have to be 100%. Just do your best, guys. Please do your best. I really appreciate everyone here. I'm really excited for 2016. But I ask you to definitely, girls, look in the mirror, figure out what it is about yourself that you'd like to be better at. Take responsibility for it and give it a hug and let it go, man. And just let's move forward and grab onto the coattails of somebody that just has dug themselves into the ground and for whatever will not give up. Okay? This is our vehicle, like Joan said. This is open to everyone, but it's also available to everyone. And anyone can do this. Anyone can. So let's do this together. And Joan, thank you so much.
Hey, Hall, I love you, girl. And you ladies, look, I hope that you feel, what we're all about, that we are really here to help, to support this team in fulfilling what their dreams are. Again, I am committed to helping to empower women to find their strength and to make their dreams come true, and to not allow your negative talk and your limiting beliefs and I'm not good enough and I have ADD and ADHD and all these things that we give a label to, my friend Holly. Like you said, you're going to give it a hug and let it go, because we are not those stories. We have so much that we don't even realize. And again, I suggest that T. Harv Eker book. I suggested an audio for two reasons. One, it's amazing when you get outside and go for a walk, or if you live in a place that's too cold. I'm sorry, living in Florida, I can pretty much go out and walk every day. But when you're out and you're walking and you're in the fresh air and your mind is open, it's great to have that pouring in. But I do also have the paper version too, because I like to write in my books and circle in them and make my notes and go back like they're my Bible. I have my Bible and then I have my other Bibles, and yeah, so I see that Kelly has her hand up. So Kelly, I'm going to unmute you. If you have to hop off, I know we've gone a little bit longer today, but if you need to hop off, that's cool. Kelly, I'm unmuting you. So now if you want to unmute yourself, I believe I unmuted you. If you want to unmute yourself, I don't know if attendee can't be unmuted until they enter their PIN. Click send. I don't know what that means. I don't know. It's telling me attendee can't be unmuted. So if you want to type your question, you can do that, or you and I can connect afterwards, because it's not allowing me to unmute you for whatever reason. If anybody else has a question, please, feel free to raise your hand. I'll unmute you. If not, we'll say goodbye. This call has been recorded, and I am going to post it so that you can share it and listen to it over and over when you're feeling the need to get yourself focused and determined to do the things you've got to do. So Kel, if you want to give me a call when we're done, if nobody else has any questions, make it an amazing day. Go work on your dreams, ladies.